Welcome to Magnet Marketers, our weekly live show where we break down the head, heart, and hand approach to building sustainable growth in your business. During each episode, we share actual client marketing best practice examples, strategies, and tactics that will help you generate real results. Our belief? A magnet always works better than being a bullhorn to attract, retain, and build your brand. Ready to dive into this week's Relationship Marketing Training Tuesday? Well, let's get started. Here's your host, Mike Gingerich and Jessika Phillips. Yay. Hello, and welcome to this week Training Tuesday Live. We're Magnet Marketers, where our goal is always to help you become a magnet with your marketing versus being a bullhorn. And today we have the perfect topic for you. I know I say that every week because every week it is just a great topic, but we're talking about why a video is essential to your marketing in the metaverse, in the future. Metaverse sounds so futuristic, but really, right now, guys, I've been reading up on predictions. I'm sure you're going to be seeing all of them as we round out the year, the predictions for marketing in 2023. And right now, video, of course, they've been saying it's the year of video every year, but video right now is 80% of people say they prefer watching video over reading text for brands. So it's definitely something you need to pay attention to. We have the perfect video expert guest with us to share all of his tips and tactics, Ryan Koral. But before we introduce him, quick hello. If we've not met before, my name is Jessika Phillips with Now Marketing Group and the Relationship Marketing System. My personal mission is to help you love more, give more, and be more through the art of authentic relating. And my awesome co-host, it's Mike Gingerich. He manages 3 blogs while running, biking, swimming, and traveling. Yeah, that's Mike. He does it all. How's it going, Mike?
Hey, doing well, and super excited about today's guest and just talking about that because, like you said, I mean, video is everywhere, but not all video is equal, right? I mean, but it's popping up. I mean, when I think of video, I mean, I don't even know, but like I was looking at the stats, here recently, and some of those predictions, and when I saw that TikTok, it's video, but it doesn't. I don't think of it as right away as video, right? I mean, but it is, and so I got to get used to this. And we got the perfect guest today with Ryan Koral coming into us. Let me just give you a little background on Ryan. Number one, he was a tremendous speaker at Social Media Week Lima in this past year, 2022, and hope we can get him back again. But he is a documentary filmmaker. I mean, how many times do I get to say that we have a documentary filmmaker on the show? I don't. So Ryan, looking forward to that. He's founder of Tell Studios, where his team creates video with soul. That's the difference for their clients so they can make a greater impact in the world. He's also an educator and hosts a weekly podcast for filmmakers wanting to start and grow their own video business. He loves watching The Office, eating Reese's peanut butter cups, hugs his wife and 3 kids. But I guess not necessarily in that order. So, the good kudos to him. And let's bring Ryan in and let's dive into Ryan. Thank you for coming. And soul, I love that that's in your bio, video with soul. That seems like a differentiator. Is that kind of what you aim for?
Yeah, we paid a lot of money for that branding, for that tagline. So yeah, that's, I think 18 years ago when I started doing video, we've been able to articulate it encapsulate it in that, 3-word tagline. I'm like, yes, that's what I wanted day one. And that's what we're doing, fortunately, all these years later.
Yeah. Because while we have you on here, we're talking about the video, we're talking about video in the metaverse, all that kind of thing. And I kind of shared a little bit that when I saw the stats and it was talking about, hey, TikTok was the #1 most downloaded app, and I was like, oh yeah, TikTok, social media, but I don't just think of video. I mean, but yeah, it is. That's what it is. But I think of YouTube and I mean longer things because you're a documentary filmmaker, so you're doing. I think of longer things, you know, but longer and with soul. But we gotta talk also about the whole TikTok thing, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's crazy. I mean, when when I started, it was 2004 is when I left. I was working at a university and I left university to do video full time. My wife and I looked at each other and we're like, yeah, let's do this. Try to replace your $11 an hour salary. We didn't think it was going to be that hard. But that was before YouTube. So there was no YouTube. If you watched video on the internet, it was like, you know, the size of a postage stamp. And I'm so fortunate to have fallen into an industry that I'm passionate about. I'm passionate about people. I'm passionate about authentic storytelling, which sort of is like that documentary thing. And then fast forward all these years later to see, I mean, it's probably been at least the last decade where every year there's the trends of the upcoming year and it's like everything video.
What's the next year going to be? Video.
Yeah, and I'm like, okay, cool. Like we're going strong, and there's just no there, you know, Netflix, Amazon, Hulu, like there's a channel for everything. There continues to be more and more content. That there's enough content, and there can't be more. There continues to be. So really, at the end of the day, when you think about marketing and what we need to do for our businesses, it's like we need to have something that differentiates ourselves from all of the noise. Because there's so much out there.
Yeah. By the way, you have your #1 fan. It says in here right now. George says #1 Ryan Koral fan. Love
George.
Yay, George.
I paid him a Starbucks card to show up and say that.
Just so you know, guys, let us know where you're watching video, by the way, in the comments as we get started, because we're talking about like video marketing in the metaverse. What does that even mean, right? And a lot of people don't even know what the metaverse is. They think Meta, Facebook, whatever. But metaverse, we talked a lot about this. Speaking of Social Media Week Lima 2022, this past year, in just what is that, right? And the whole thing was co-create, and talking about the metaverse is this space that people are now coming to co-create. We're entering into this Web3 world where Web 1 was read-only, like you said, when you first got online and how the webs changed. It was you just got information from it, and you very much were just like people were presenting to you, if you will, online. Then we entered into Web 2, where it's social media. Now we could read and write and respond back to brands and have an engagement with them. But now it's read, write, create, where we now can get into these worlds where in the metaverse, and this is where the whole metaverse concept comes from, is that now we're not just reading, writing, we're co-creating. We can do things with a brand and engage with them another way. But this is where I feel that people are wanting a deeper, richer experience. And that's why I also love your tagline, creating videos with soul. Because as we just talked about, TikTok, you don't think about that as video. YouTube, that's a different type of video. Documentaries, that's a different type of video. And there's so many videos out there, predictions of video marketing. The proof's right there that it's growing. It's every year's the year of the video. Now it's proving to be that one thing that is that ROI rich thing for brands and that brands need to pay attention to. But I think it's how they pay attention to it is key. And you nailed it, honestly, with your tagline. But I'd love to get into how you approach video. This is what you do. This is your expertise. I'm sure you've seen the good, bad, ugly, and the things you don't talk about in front of others, right? Like a video being created. How do brands like just get started and start thinking about video as we do enter this metaverse Web3 world?
Well, Jessica, I'm glad you asked. I feel like
Jessica should put her headset on right now. We should be seeing Jessica.
It's upstairs.
Right, totally.
It's charging.
Why didn't we do that
last night?
I feel like with the trend of like where when Instagram came out and you could add filters to your photographs and with AI and all of the crazy stuff that you can do, there's a there's still a piece, especially as we look at what we do. We work with brands and businesses to like create marketing videos to reach more of the right people. So ultimately, like that they get hired, that people pay money to those brands. There's nothing like, I don't want to give money to a brand that I don't trust, right? In one that I don't care for. And so if you put a filter on your brand or your business that really isn't like your guts, your heart, your soul, it's going to take longer for people like me to say like, man, do I want to spend money there? So I think that's one of the like things I'm a little bit nervous about, the metaverse, like enabling more brands to be like, hey, like, we can put on our best face and like just make everything, look and feel way better than it actually is. I think today, before we, we're all wearing different glasses and, walking around with more headsets, that the practice for all of us needs to be trying to show up authentically with whatever, whether it's, photo, video, our websites, the way we're communicating through email, and just all of those things. Because at the end of the day, I think that's, know, like, and trust. The faster that people do that, the quicker they are going to be to spend time with you, to hire you, to give you money, and then to share you with the world. So showing up authentically with video, saying like, this is who we are, this is what we care about, these are people that we've helped, these are authentic stories, they're not scripted, they're not actors, they're like all the infomercials that we've seen, it's like, this is a paid actor, it's like, whatever. It's like, okay, you're telling me it's a paid actor, like, so I don't believe like what being said. And so like, we need to like be able to unfilter. And so I think that's just going to be one of the challenges as we enter the metaverse. So the practice right now, I think, is just show up as you are. And one of my favorite phrases is to go ugly early and be okay with like, you're not for everybody. Not everybody's going to like, funny enough, like not everybody actually likes me. I know that probably comes as a surprise. Like, it's weird. I don't resonate. My humor doesn't fall flat on some people. I know that's surprising too, but that's okay. Those aren't the people that I want to hire me, right? I want people to hire me that get me, that can appreciate. They don't have to think I'm funny, but they can appreciate my sarcasm and the way that we've built our brand and the things that we care about. So, George says, like, I don't believe it. So yeah, am I still coming through okay?
Yeah,
you're absolutely fine. Yes. Yeah.
No, you were good. And I resonate with a lot of what you're saying, go ugly early. And I honestly, I want to find your link to Vimeo, and maybe we can put it in the links here. But one of the bios I remember reading is like, your team is like the skinny jeans wearing, you just went in and like really described yourself. So people got a sense of what it was like to work with you. And that's what I think that I'm really hearing and resonate with too, when you talk about video of brands showing up and making it believable. Is the only way to make it believable is if it is legit the truth of who you are. And I feel like that's where social has impacted a lot of how video is showing up, and why the growth of TikTok, why the growth of stories, why the growth of the, even we had on here a couple weeks ago talking about Amazon selling, because it's real people talking about their experience, sharing their day, sharing their life in a way that's authentic, like you're saying, and believable and relatable, because they're connected to their community. And that's just what it is. We're going to be drawn to the people that are most like us. So if we're trying to show up in a filtered way and blended, people aren't going to be able to resonate with that. And just like you said, it took you a minute to get to what I'm here to do and what I'm passionate to do is to create videos with soul. Like, the quicker that brands can get to that first, then they know of all the avenues of creating video. Here's where we need to create it, how we can create it, and get started. So is there a process or something you go through with your customers or clients, to discuss the avenue or the story, or how they show up, where they show up, and how brands can think about this collectively?
Yes. I mean, a lot of times when people are coming to us and saying like, hey, we need a video, we just want to push back and kind of ask the question, well, why? And, if it's to sell something, then what we want to do, we also want to pose the question, okay, like, do you want something that's more informational, or do you want something that's more emotional? And a lot of times people are like, emotional, like okay, here's informational. Here's the features, the benefits, the stats, the numbers, the data, the ROI, blah, 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 all the stuff. And that has a place for a certain in the funnel.
Okay.
But a lot of times what they don't realize is that they want something more emotive. They want and they really need to try to connect with their ideal clients on an emotional level to just say, like, this is who we are, this is what we care about, because that's your differentiator, right? Like your pricing, your features, your benefits, all of that stuff is probably very similar to your competitor. You might have like one or two things that are a little bit different. Maybe your pricing is a little bit less, a little bit more. Maybe you don't have a return policy, whatever those things are, but they're basically the same. So the thing that we have that makes us different is our personality, our brand's personality, and showing up and putting it out there, like that is how people can say, like, oh, okay, like I get it. And then for some people, they're going to be like, well, no, I don't resonate with that. And that's fine. Like they can find somebody that does. So for us, it's really like helping our clients understand that there are different kinds of videos and that they serve different purposes. And at the end of the day, like, what do you think that you need based on like what your goals are for marketing and all of those things, for people to understand, like, oh, you know what, we thought that we wanted something that was just very, numbers, data driven, more like in about us and, our capabilities. But at the end of the day, you're right. Like what we need is something that is more soulful, so that we can connect with people on an emotional level. And that's not for everybody, like sometimes the exact thing that somebody needs is a capabilities piece. So there's a time and a place for both of those.
I loved what you said. Just about the need, to be authentic. I think you brought it in because you're unique in the sense that you're a filmmaker, but you have a podcast to help others become filmmakers, right?
Yeah, it's called Grow Your Video Business, and it's really geared toward the business of production to help them figure out how to charge what they're worth, how to get more clients and do more videos because they love creating video.
That's amazing in itself when you try to break that down, because that means you're not fearful or having a scarcity mindset. And you're saying, I don't have to protect my technique or things. I can share that. And then you're coming back to saying people will choose us because of the connection of this is who we are. And that's going to be a segment. And that segment is great. And that's who I want to work with. And I'm okay with that other segment that doesn't flow with that. A lot of businesses, I think people are still trying to grapple with that. They're afraid of that because what if I don't have videos to make, so somebody comes and says they need video, I'll do a video, and rather than is this a good fit, that's a different but it's so much better. I mean, we've experienced when you have a client relationship and it's gravel versus smooth, and it's probably because that fit wasn't there.
Yeah. Sorry, go ahead.
I was just going to say, right before this call, I was on I was with my mastermind group on another virtual call, and we were talking about like what over the course of our lives, as we're looking toward the end of this year, like let's reflect on, write down 5 things that you're most proud of. And so business, personal, whatever. And I think number 2 thing was that I have overcome this mindset of scarcity. Because as a little kid growing up, the message that I heard was that you have to look out for number 1, and you are number 1 in your world. And so I grew up and I saw like my whole family, that's what everybody thought and believed, and that's how they lived. And then I equated it to like, that's how I've been able to like be in a happy marriage for almost 20 years, because I've learned how to live abundantly instead of like trying to just live for me. And so 6 years ago, I create this brand where I'm educating corporate and commercial filmmakers who are essentially could be seen as my competition. I like to call them my community or my collaborators. And I give them they like some things I sell, they can buy, like our budgeting calculator that we use with every single job, every client that comes to us. This is how we budget our job. I give them the techniques on how we do these 2-hour workshops. I give them all of the things that I have done to build my business. But Mike, I'm so glad that you said this, because I'm realizing like I'm having this inception moment of our business since 2016, when I launched that brand, our business, our revenue and our production business has just gone up. I mean, we had 1 year that was like a hiccup year, but it just trends upward because it's not about the information. It's not about like knowing more stuff or like, okay, now we've got everything that Ryan's doing to grow his video company. Now we can do it and win all his business. Like, it's about like people, like our clients aren't running to like those people. Like they love us. They love our style. They get us. They resonate with us. So that's the thing that has become so important, is just like embracing, who you are and knowing that you're not for everybody, and that's okay too.
But you're not going to run out. And I think people try to be for everybody because of the scarcity mindset, right? Totally. That's what it's about. And that's why you try to be for everyone, because you're afraid you're going to leave someone out.
Right.
So that means leaving dollars on the table, when it's actually the reverse. People are going to continue to refer you to the right people. I just listened to a voicemail before we jumped on here from another agency calling me and saying, hey, you do this really well. And I want this client to be happy. So is this an introduction I could make? You wouldn't hear of that before if you didn't show up in a way that people knew that, hey, I am showing up to serve you. I'm going to help you too. I'm going to tell you what I know, because I know nobody else. It's not about what we do. It's about how we do it. And nobody else can do things the way that you do it with your, chef's kiss. That's why you can be the same recipe that each person's given. And it's going to taste different a lot of times when people make it, because of that thing, the way that they show up and do it. Yeah. And I when you first came on, Ryan, you were talking about the content of video and more people creating it. And I think that's really the message where we're talking about entering the metaverse with the video, is that creating the content is not the same as putting your own chef's kiss on it. Like this one stat that I want to share with everyone, it says that emails with video have a 300% higher click-through rate than without. And the videos, we know that they work, but the key to them working is taking your content and delivering it. So even if you don't know what to create, it's taking what you're already creating and doing it in a way that's embracing more of you as a brand and showcasing who you are a little bit behind the curtain and being more helpful, because not only is it going to get more click-through rates, but it's also going to build this rapport, like you're saying, Ryan, like your community, not competitors. They're going to keep coming back to you, working with you, also referring you on and trusting you. And at the same time, it gets, I think, the brand more and more comfortable in refining who they are at the end of the day as well.
Yeah.
I
agree.
And I had a chance to go to your conference, by the way, that you put on. And it was amazing, like just hearing the feedback of the people that were in the room, like they just adored you. And it was really cool to hear them talk about you and just brag about you behind your back, literally at the event. And some of the people, it was the first time, maybe even meeting you in person. And that's key. It's like, I feel like video is that differentiator that allows people to get to know you on a more intimate level quicker, but also a way that brands can, as the studies are showing, be able to kind of build that rapport and relationship a lot faster with people. Now, by the way, if you guys want a recap of this, type the word recap in the comments and you'll be sent the blog into your inbox. But Crystal, we love Crystal too. She gets it too. Ryan is the real deal, as are you, my friend. But yeah, Ryan, I just
takes one to know one, right?
That's
Crystal.
right. I love it. I love the vibe in here.
You guys.
Ryan, I want to know from you, like you're sharing, like asking those questions of your community, and then getting them started. Like, if you had to leave people with one thing before they go check you out and hire you to do the video, but if you had to leave them with one piece of advice to really get started and approach this, start thinking about what would that be? To approach video, I should say.
Well, I mean, yes, I would
question.
love.
Yeah,
I'd love for the cool, not the cool. That's not the right word. I'd love for our ideal clients to hire us. Anybody out there, you know, we'd love to do more videos. But you know, here's the thing: like, you can build your brand and continue to build awareness by just you showing up. Right? Like, you don't need, and you have the thing that you need that shoots like probably 4K, 8K video, you know, it's like in your pocket or your purse. It's like within a few feet from you. So you don't need a sweet production company like us. Now we're going to make the process and, you know, all of that super streamlined, and there's a time and a place for the kinds of videos that we can help you with, and for strategy and all that stuff. But to show up online, you know, to go on your LinkedIn and to, you know, in just your little bio video or something like that, to just show up with your camera, show up on TikTok or, you know, on the Instagram stories or wherever, and just say, hey, here's, this is me. This is what I care about. I'm looking to connect with and partner with more people that care about these same kinds of things. You might hire us, maybe not, but I know that, you know, the power that comes in synergy, working with, being around other people that care about similar things is good for me. That's if you have that mindset and you can share that with people, please hire us to do that for you. But you definitely can do that on your own. So that's like my first push, is just like pick up your phone and create that first video. It's going to be terrible. Like, if you thought about, you know, doing a YouTube video, the fear is like, oh, I don't want to be a YouTuber. I don't want to be the one that's saying like, hey guys, like, welcome to my channel, hit this notification bell, subscribe. Like, you don't have to be that. If that's not you, if that's not your personality, just show up and just be your goofy self and say, hey, I don't know what I'm doing on YouTube, but I've heard that there's more of my people here. And so I want to show up and I want to meet more of my people. So this video is awkward. I'm editing it on my computer. I have no idea what I'm doing, but I just want to show up. Like, if you can do that, I mean, you can do that, right? I mean, how terrible was that, me stumbling through that? But here's the thing. People connect with that. People relate to that. People are like, oh my gosh, finally somebody tell me I don't have to start I don't have to be a YouTuber, that I can just show up and be my goofy, boring, weird, ugly, you know, whatever. Like, if you, okay, I need to come. Yeah,
no, I love that. I love what you're sharing, because also I think people overthink sometimes the video is that YouTuber, whatever they've been taught. One last thing I'll say that touches into like even what we were just talking about with email. I had the flu a couple weeks ago. I wasn't able to attend like a client discovery session, and a team member stepped in. We had some other stuff happen in the office, and I just felt bad that I was not there, wasn't able to be there. So instead, I could have just wrote an email, but instead I did a video with the email and just said, hey guys, I just want to say hello. I appreciate your time. I appreciate, you know, you guys having this discussion with us. And here's what I heard based upon me listening back in it, and blah, 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 blah. They responded back with, you know what? We decided to hire you because we loved that response that you had to it. Now, granted, I'm sure there was other things to it, but they pointed out that it's that showing up, messy or not, but you're showing up and you're putting in some time and personality. And of course, my video isn't perfect. I'm still nasally, all of it. But it works. So sometimes it's just like even putting video into the personal responses back, email, you know, messenger, whatever, wherever you want to show up. But just consider, like you said, showing up and taking the phone out, whatever you need to do to create that video and make it happen.
Yeah. Can I share a free resource for people that might help that happen faster and easier?
Yes.
So if you go to tellstudios.com/secret formula, we've got a download, a PDF. Give us your email and you can download this. There's some suggested gear if you're looking at like adding anything to your repertoire. But with your phone, we kind of lay out, here's how you can create some very, very simple videos, even today, that can help save time. Like this report that you were sharing, video reduces support calls by 41%. So the right kind of videos, and can also increase the right kind of discovery calls by creating these short FAQ video. We can give you the template for how to do that. So go download that at tellstudios.com/secret formula.
Love that. Love that. Jessika, did you see Eric's comment? I love what he said there. Maybe you already put that up.
That's one of my quotables. Not what you do, it's how you do it and what you do that differentiates you. Yes, yes, yes. Amen and amen. I love all the people in the house tonight, by the way. Love it. I did put your link in here, Ryan, tellstudios.com/secret formula. Guys, grab it. Seriously, Ryan is a giver and he's got some good stuff, great examples. We're talking about a documentary filmmaker, guys. I've seen some of the projects he's worked on and they are amazing. Just even check out some of the examples on the website. But definitely type the word recap in the comments too. And you can have this all sent to your inbox in Messenger to make it easy. Ryan, but if people want to connect with you, what's the best place for them to do so after this?
Yeah, you can email me, Ryan at tellstudios.com. Also hang out on LinkedIn a little bit. And yeah, those are probably the two best places.
Awesome. So check him out. Tell Studio.
I just gotta say, I've had these vibes, Ryan. Your setup today, it's like it's a little bit Harry Potter, Hogwarts school with the mic. I see Star Wars. I mean, it's just it's got a vibe to it.
I was gonna say the same thing. He's got a vibe to it.
And then you almost,
you're welcome.
It looks like you have a hood. I just kept waiting for you to like flip up this hood. Or, I don't know.
This is how I'm gonna exit today.
There it is. Yeah.
He's like, and I'm out. Like, and he's like, yeah, hit me up.
Oh,
lighting
look at that.
10 out of 10.
George is going, the lighting is 10 for 10. Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
I like it.
Amazing.
That's you awesome. Guys are great. Ryan, you are a wealth of information. Again, loved your talk at Social Media Week Lima 2. Definitely want to bring you back. Everybody loved your talk and just how you show up in that giving mindset, getting rid of the scarcity mindset that you have. Definitely, I can speak to this as well, grows your brand. So all of you, I just appreciate you, Ryan and Mike, showing up today and all of you joining in with us here live and on the replay. We will be back here next Tuesday, 4 p.m. Eastern Standard Time for our last show of this year. I know.
Amazing. Last show of the year already. Whoa.
Can you believe it? But we'll be sharing all the predictions for what you need to be prepared for. Video is definitely one of them, as you can hear.
Video?
Video?
Maybe video. I think video.
Yeah, but there's some others you definitely want to.
You gotta have the headset too.
So yeah, for sure that you may be surprised by. So make sure to join us next week, Tuesday, 4 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Until then, have a great remainder of your week and good start to December. We appreciate all of you. Thank you again, Ryan. Thank you, Mike. And thank all of you.
Appreciate it. Thank you.
Have a good rest of your night. Bye-bye.